Hi, this is your District Governor, Jennifer Stanfield, connecting with you again on another helpful tutorial. Today, we're going to be talking about matching points campaigns within the club, or if an individual wants to give their points that the Rotary Foundation has given them to another member or non-Rotarian to recognize their significant contribution to service above self. So what I'd like for you to do is get your computer ready to log into Rotary.org. Also, the District and Club Database, dacdb.com. Those are places where we're going to be showing you how to find the reports, the forms, and some little tips and tricks along the way. I also would recommend, if you're going to be doing it for the entire club, to create a spreadsheet where you keep track of people's member IDs, because your Rotary ID stays with you no matter what club you're in. And it will help you have a spreadsheet so that when you get those questions later from your club members, asking for who got points and how many points, you'll be able to have a written record that you can refer to answer those questions. So while you get those two things together, I'm going to share my screen so that we can get started on today's lesson. Now, I'm going to go out here to Google Chrome because I use a Mac, and Safari is not very friendly with the Rotary website when it comes to creating the forms and the reports. It's just so much faster and easier if you're using Google Chrome. So if you're using a Mac like I am, make sure you're using Google Chrome. Now, as you can see on my screen, I'm showing you the landing page for DACDB, District and Club Database. You'll see these tabs up here. If you've never investigated these tabs, great place to learn more things that you can do with this powerful tool that is available to all members of our Central Indiana Rotary Clubs. Now today, because we're going to be talking about matching points, I served as your annual fund chair for 3 years, and I created a file for all club officers so that they can have access to the form. So let's go click under district, and we're going to see all of these icons that pop up. Now, if you don't see as many icons as what I have showing, you can go over to the far right and you see this little gear right here. Of course, you know, in Rotary, we got to have a gear. If you click on that, then you can choose what icons we want and what ones we don't. And here's where you do that. When you choose them and you put them up to the top. So let's just say I'm going to move verify down here. It's going to be down here, but wait a minute, I do want that. So I'm going to slide it back up here. You just slide them back and forth if you want to see them or if you don't. And then you want to set my configuration. Okay. I'm not going to set it because I have them all up. So I'm going to X out of here. And like I said, I have placed some files in there that will be helpful for club officers, especially the club foundation chair. So since there are files, let's look for the district files icon right here. And we're going to click on district files. If you look, the second one down says club officer resources. We're going to click on that. There's a foundation folder. There's a membership folder. Here's where you can find virtual backgrounds for when you're doing Zoom or Google Meet. How to create a My Rotary account. So that's an important piece of information for your clubs, because only about 30% of our active members in our district have actually created their Rotary.org account. And this little piece of information right here will help them create their My Rotary account. That is where your individuals can see their individual donor report, how much money they've given to the foundation, to what fund they've given to the foundation, to whom they have given recognition points towards Paul Harris Fellow recognition, and you also see from whom they've received points for that Paul Harris Fellow recognition level. So let's go up to the foundation folder. If you click on that, Look at all this stuff. If you have someone who wants to transfer from their IRA towards October, November, December, that's when you're going to be finding people that are being required to take a minimum distribution out of their IRA if they reach a certain age. And so here's the form for that. The multiple donor form for the Rotary Foundation. If you are familiar with some of the forms as a club foundation chair, and you're going to send in documentation to the foundation on behalf of your entire club, you're going to want the multiple donor form. Paul Harris recognition, transfer of points form, and the individual donor forms are right here. The Paul Harris Society brochure, if you want to know more about Paul Harris Society, it's right there. You can print it out for your club. Or since most of these are PDFs, you can post them on your club websites. Now, the other thing I want you to be sure to know is that Rotary is not a closed society. We are wide open. So anything you're looking for, you can find it by just doing a search engine like Google. So just Google it. If you're looking for Paul Harris recognition transfer points, start typing into the Google search TRF. Transfer points or Paul Harris Fellow recognition, any of those things, and you'll find the form. It'll pop up. But here's the reference guide for the Rotary Foundation. If you want to know who is eligible to receive points, who's eligible to receive recognition, all of those kinds of things. If you have members that don't want to mess with checks, Rotary Direct is the way to go. And here's the form that they can fill out if they want to fill out paper. But if they're not messing with checks, they don't want to fill it out on paper, send them to rotary.org and have them click the donate button. And then they can set up a recurring gift that comes out of their debit card, credit card, or an ACH transaction out of their banking account. If you're the club foundation chair and you want to send a multiple donor form, I want to show you a little shortcut, if you will, on how to get that done quickly. Because if I were to just click on the major donor form and it pops up down here and we open it up, you're going to put in your club name, your club number. Do you know what your club number is? Do you know where to find it? It's on rotary.org. It's also on Rotary DACDB as well. Your district number, that is 6560. You want to put that in there. You're going to click annual fund share if you're wanting this donation to come back to the district for district grants later, or whatever else you want to check here. The amount of the contribution total. You're going to put all of your members' IDs, your members' donor name as it appears, and their contribution amount, and then you'll calculate all of these up and you'll put that number right there. Wouldn't it be great if there was a faster, easier, more streamlined way to do this? And there is. So I'm going to remove this and I want to show you a little shortcut. Under Club tab, we're going to look for a report. And what we're looking for is the Rotary Foundation Transmittal Report. Okay, so let's look for reports. There they are. Click on it. Right here, the Rotary Foundation Transmittal. We're going to click on that. Now, make sure it's your club that's up here. So here's the Crawfordsville Club. You can include terminated members. Let's say somebody had left in August, but they gave in July, and you want to make sure that their donation, if they gave to you as a club member and you want to send them all in by the end of the calendar year, you would include it on this form if you haven't already turned in a form. All these different types of members that you can select and club positions who are going to receive this form. So I'm going to go over here. There's a way to view it. You can go on an Excel spreadsheet. You can do it on a Word document. I like to click the Excel spreadsheet because it does the math for you. So I'm going to open that, and here's the Crawfordsville Club. Rotary District 6560, Crawfordsville 3400 is our club number. Look over here. It has already populated everybody's Rotary ID number. It has populated everybody's name as it's supposed to appear and their membership type, whether they're active or active R85. Now, as you go down through here and you put in dollar amounts all the way down this column, it'll total it for you. Then you want to come down here, check annual fund share, because that's what generates our district designated funds that come back to us so that we can give to your clubs to make a greater impact in your community. And then here's the address. You can print this form out. You don't have to email it, but you can print it out and include your club check with this and mail it to this address right here. I would recommend that you save this as a PDF so that you have a written record of what you've done. So again, you can use the form or you can click on the report that you find in DACDB, okay? So the first thing on your records is you're going to need to know who has points, who doesn't have points, who needs points, who has points to give away. Much ado about points. So we're going to go to Rotary.org and we're going to click on My Rotary, and we're going to look at Rotary Club Central. When we click on this, remember you have to create your own My Rotary account. It's not done for you. Oh, is this what I want? Yes, because I want to go to reports. I'm going to click on reports. I'm going to come down to the Rotary Foundation Giving Reports. I'm going to click on Recognition Summary. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not going to click on this because this is confidential information. I'm not going to put it out there for everyone to see. But once you click on that, you will see different columns, your members' names, who has recognition points available, and everyone's Paul Harris Fellow recognition level. The maximum Paul Harris Fellow recognition level is Paul Harris plus 8. So that's the $9,000 plus points level. Past that is a major donor. A major donor is not eligible to receive points because the maximum recognition at the Paul Harris Fellow is plus 8. So you want to take a look at the folks in your club who have given to the foundation and are wanting to receive matching points. Only those dollars given to the annual fund share are eligible for a match, okay? Because you're wanting them to come back as a district grant. If you see that someone is a Paul Harris Fellow plus 7, you want to kind of take a look at that and see how many points will get them to a Paul Harris Fellow plus 8, which is a total of 9,000. And then don't give them more than that. So if they're a Paul Harris Fellow plus 7 and you give them, we'll just make it up for conversation's sake, 2,000 points, you're going to put them well over and basically wasted points that someone else may have earned that they're going to miss out on. So make sure that the person that you are giving points to has not exceeded the maximum, okay? So I'm not going to click on that, but I do want you to notice that at the top, here's my name. I'm going to click on my little person. Oh, it's not going to go there. So we're going to go back to Rotary.org if I can. Okay. Now, right here where it says my account, I'm going to click on that. And there is a field there that says my donations. I'm going to show you my individual donor report so that you can see the information that's available there. And when you get questions from your club members about what's my Paul Harris recognition amount level, all of that kind of thing, this is how you can coach them to go find that information, because only the individual can see the individual donor report. Not even the district governor can see someone's donor history report. Okay, so I'm going to click on donor history report and you will see I have information that's still being populated. It's about to be refreshed. There we go. Here's my recognition level. I'm a Paul Harris Fellow plus 4. My recognition amount is 5,378. My foundation recognition points available to transfer are 878. That means I have given away about 4,000 of my points to other Rotarians. I've given this amount of money to the annual fund share. I've given this amount of money to the Polio Plus Society. And there's that graph I was showing you that it would show. Now, you might think, oh, well, that kind of doesn't show me my points, who got them, who gave them, all of that kind of thing. So we're not going to look at the overview. We're going to come to the next tab at the bottom to it called Transaction Detail. And you're going to see that on the 3rd of December, the Polio Plus $25. I do that quarterly so that it's $100 every year that I give through Rotary Direct. It just comes right off of either my debit or credit card. Here you can see where I transferred out points. There's a contribution, transfer out, contribution. If we go further down, because there's more pages, you will see some transfer in points. So I received some points along the years from folks that gave me points to help me towards my beginning donations in the Rotary Foundation. So here's where you can help your club members find their individual reports. Some of the questions that I've gotten in the past have been, I know that I'm a Paul Harris Fellow +8, but I know I also received some points. So how many more dollars do I need to give to the Rotary Foundation in order to achieve major donor status? Major donor status happens when you have given $10,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation. And so that's the form that I just showed you that will help you answer that question for your club members. Well, if you're doing matching points, you're going to need the forms that we talked about earlier on DACDB. So let's go back to DACDB. Okay, here we are back at DACDB. We're going to click on the district, and then we're going to come down to district files, because remember, I saved documents for you for doing matching points. Foundation folder, we're going to come down here to the donor form and the recognition transfer form. So I'm going to click on that. There are two forms here. The first one is the individual contribution form. We're going to slide on down past that because we want to talk about transferring points. This is the form you need. And do you know this little notation right here? If you were just to Google that, this form pops up too. So easy to find. Okay. And if you have any questions, here is the Rotary Support Center phone number, and Rotary Support Center at rotary.org is where you will email these forms. And I recommend emailing them rather than snail mailing them, because many of the employees of the Rotary Foundation do work remotely and they'll get it quicker. And especially as we get towards the end of the calendar year, it's important that they get them by email. So that's the email address you want to send it to. Transfer recognition points too. So let's say Donna Smith is someone in our club that has given $500 to the annual fund share program during the dates that our club announced. And so we want to give her 500 matching points. All right. We've already printed out our club summary report, or at least have a PDF of it so that we can refer back to who has 500 points that they can donate. And get their permission first. Just don't do it. You have to get their permission and their signature on the form. So we're going to put Donna Smith on here. We're going to look up Donna Smith's Rotary ID number, put that right here. Her club is going to go right here. Her club number is going to go right there. The district number is 6560 if you're in Central Indiana. Donna Smith's, our fictitious Rotarian's address is going to go in here, daytime phone and email. All of that information you should be able to find on either rotary.org or quicker on DACDB, District and Club Database. Transfer points. So in our scenario, she's given $500, and so we're going to give her 500 points. Notice that the minimum is 100. You cannot transfer less than 100 points. So if you've announced to your club that you're going to match dollar for dollar and somebody gave $5, you're going to have to give them 100 points to make your to honor what you said. So transferring recognition points. Are you transferring from an individual? Are you transferring from a club? Click one of those and put that individual's donor number in there. If it's from your club, because your club has points, you're going to put your club number in there. Now, the caveat for club points that are reflected on your Rotary Foundation Club Summary Report, only the club president can give club points, and it takes their signature. And many clubs require board approval before the club will donate their points. Okay. Authorized signature. So whoever's number this is, and again, I said, if it's club points, it's going to be the club president right here. They're going to sign and you're going to print their name. Shipping information. Presentation date is very important. When are you going to present your Paul Harris Fellow recognition recipients? You're going to put that date in there. If you're not sure, put ASAP. Send the recognition to, right? A lot of people will click the club foundation chair because that's the person who's going to do the presentation. If you don't click anything, it will automatically be sent to the club president. Okay. So if you're clicking club president, you're going to put name, address, every place where you want it sent, and including an email address there. Now, the individual completing this form, it could be the individual who's giving their points, or it could be the person who is your matching points campaign chairman for your club. And you're going to put that information in there. So in the United States, here's where we mail it. There's our phone number for more information. And here's the email address. Once you do this form, what I did is I saved it as a PDF, and I saved it by the recipient's last name first. And then I gathered up all of those into one file on my desktop, and I sent that one file to Rotary Support Center at Rotary.org so that all of the paperwork is sent all at the same time. Okay, so this is the form that transfers points. If you have someone in your club that has significant number of points and maybe they were saving them for their grandchildren or their children, or maybe somebody in your community that they want to recognize, this is still the same form for that. Whenever you're transferring points to any individual, whether they are a Rotarian or not, and whether it's during a matching points campaign or not, this is the form that you use and sends to the Rotary Foundation to transfer those points. Okay. So again, there's a lot of information right here that we have put in the district tab under district files for completing this form. And to find the data that you need for your club, that club recognition summary report, we found that over on Rotary.org Foundation Reports. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at governor@rotary6560.org. I'd be glad to answer those questions. Hopefully, I've helped you. I will look through my files and my spreadsheets, and I'll take out the identifying information and put an example out there in DACDB so that you can see the important information that I have found helpful as the annual fund chair in doing a district-wide match, so that I can keep track of points, who's given them, how many did they give, how many have I already awarded to other people, who's eligible, who's not eligible, and all of that, all the ID numbers and everything. So I'll put an example out there on DACDB. Thank you for being with me today as we walk through very slowly how to do a matching points campaign for your club. I hope this was helpful. And again, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to serve you as your district governor this year. And happy points matching.